Should you buy the Galaxy S9 Plus in 2021? Let's find out. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I have the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus with me, and this phone was released in March 2018 and it's now almost 3 years old. So should you buy the Galaxy S9 Plus or not? So first of all, speaking of the price, it doesn't have any specific or exact price anywhere. However, to give you a rough idea about the price, you can get this thing for $230, $250 to $350 or more depending on the condition you are getting or where you live, and 200 or maybe less than 200 bucks for a used one. And honestly, it's a great value for the money. I mean, you get a very premium build, a very good looking phone, and it was my most favorite design, and it's still very modern and better looking than so many mid-range phones or even flagships, and this color is just awesome. So this phone is for sure a complete package, starting from the build materials, the design, the color options, and high-end specs. At that time you get this solid aluminum frame, and these sides I think are better looking than the white steel on many phones. So the build is solid and durable, and mine is almost 2 years old and it only has some minor scratches on the sides and the back glass and screen, which means that this phone is aging very well. And also you get Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back, so it's a very durable phone. Speaking of the specs, you get top-notch specs which are still today very impressive, if not as much high as the latest flagship phones, but are still not old yet. You get Snapdragon 845 or Exynos 9810, which are 10 nanometer chipsets, and both are excellent performance processors. The Exynos gets hot in some tasks and drains battery as well, so the battery life is definitely not good with the Exynos variants, which are the dual SIM variants I guess. Performance on daily tasks is excellent, and also gaming is still not bad, and you will not have any issues in speed and performance overall. But of course, these are not the latest chipsets. You will notice the difference between new flagship phones and this, but again, this is far better than many mid-range phones or budget phones at this price. I think in every aspect, the design, the build, the camera, the screen, and much more. And speaking of the screen, this is an awesome panel. It's 1440p 529 ppi, and it is very sharp, crisp, colorful, and gets very bright as well. Also, it is HDR10, which means more brightness and more rich colors, and this notchless design of the screen is also very pleasing to the eyes, although if not very modern. And it's not a high refresh rate display, but you will not notice any difference unless you are using a high refresh rate display for a long time now. And the animations and overall UI feels a bit slower and not as much smooth like on other Android phones, the Pixel phones, or the OnePlus phones. Might be due to the Samsung software, but a custom launcher will make it different. And it's still better than the previous Samsung UI. And the camera on this phone is a very good camera. It shoots very sharp, clear HDR images, and it has two lenses, a main lens and a zoom lens. Both have the OIS. Main lens have some gimmicky thing called the variable aperture, which changes the aperture of the lens or the amount of light falling on the sensor, just like the big cameras, but that's another story, and it doesn't make any difference, at least for this phone I think. And it also shoots surprisingly good low light photos with a dedicated low light mode in the new software, and it works very well. It has a fast autofocus as well. It also shoots 4K 60 frames per second, and video quality is just excellent, although there is a 5 minutes limit on the 4K 60 fps, and no other phone can do the same in this price category I think, but it might be there. And let me know in the comments if you know about any phone with such a high quality camera with the same price. Speaking of the software, it's running the Android 10 One UI 2.5, which is not very old yet, but sadly it's not upgradable anymore. And this software is capable of running anything like all the apps. It's not slow at all, but on the other side, this phone is also capable of running the latest Android. If you have any problem with the Android 10, then you probably shouldn't be buying this phone and looking for something else. But if you are okay with it and just use your phone for some daily usage apps and phone calls like that, then you will not have any problem with this software. And also, custom ROM is an option for the Exynos variants. And after that, this phone is just loaded with all that stuff you will need, or sometimes not. It has a headphone jack, fast charging, wireless charging, IP68 water resistance, USB-C port, expandable storage, very good color options, not a very reliable iris scanner, a fast fingerprint sensor which is now correctly positioned unlike the Galaxy S8 or the Note 8. Also a very loud pair of stereo speakers. The bottom one is very clear and loud with some bass, but the top earpiece has much distortion distortion, but overall a very good media experience which you will not get in any other phone with the same price. I may be wrong, but let me know in the comments below if you know about such a phone. It also has 3500 mAh battery. For the battery life, I would say is average, especially the Exynos variants have not good battery life and have some heating issues, but you will get 4+ hours of battery life, screen on time, which is pretty decent for an average person. And also Samsung claims that the batteries in their phones do not degrade that much with the passage of time. It will retain 90% of the battery capacity after 2 years. So if you get a used phone, you will not have any serious battery problem. But after all, it's not a best suitable phone for power users. So should you buy the Galaxy S9 Plus in 2021? I would say definitely yes, because there is so much stuff to like about this phone. It's an old looking phone on paper, but practically it's a very good phone still for a large number of people. It has anything you need for your daily life, like an excellent display, a very good chipset, high quality build which is also very durable, premium look and feel, excellent camera, decent battery life, and all in a very reasonable price. So if you have a very specific budget, which you probably have, and you want a very complete package in it, then the Galaxy S9 Plus is a very good option. And if you want to spend some more, then simply there are a lot of options there. So that's pretty much it. And again, thank you so much guys for watching, and please be sure to subscribe and like the video, and see you in the next one.